Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, I'm so happy to have you here. Hi, my name is Brittany and I talk about all things books. On today's video, I'm going to talk about all the books that I read during the months of March and April. So if you're interested, just keep on. During the month of March, I had 7 books on my TBR, so I'm going to go through each one, tell you my thoughts, if I would recommend them or not, and just a few other little tidbits of information. So yeah, let's just get started. Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer. This book is a hockey romance. The two main characters of this book are Pippa and Jamie, and they actually went to school together when they were younger. Both of them remember one another, but they're not sure if the other person remembers who they are. And they're kind of embarrassed to tell each other who they are, just in case there's that bit of rejection or embarrassment. So they kind of tiptoe around that for the first little while. Pippa becomes kind of like an assistant to Jamie. He's a famous hockey player. She just does everything for him. Pippa really needs this job. She needs the money. She wants to work for Jamie, so she doesn't want to let it slip that she remembers him from when they were kids. So a little backstory on Pippa. She used to be in a relationship with someone, and he has become like this famous pop star, and he kind of dropped her once he got into the limelight, and so she's really reeling over that, and she's really upset, just wants to move past it. So she's thinking that this new job opportunity will help her to do that. So behind all of this, Jamie remembers obviously who Pippa is and who her ex-boyfriend is, and so he kind of becomes like this overprotective bear around her. Both of them begin to have feelings for one another, and they kind of want to stay away from each other in that regard because it could be conflicting to the work situation. There are a lot of cute moments in this book. I mean, it's a love story, so we kind of guess where it's going, but there was just too much spice for me, guys. I'm so sorry, but honestly, for me, I gave this, I believe on Goodreads, a 2-star rating, and that's being generous. If there's ever a book that I talk about that I don't like, don't take my word for it, okay? Try it for yourself and see what you think. And I sincerely apologize. I don't want anyone to be upset or offended on here. We all have different book tastes, okay? And I respect that and I love that. I just did not care for it at all. But again, if you're into like sports romance or spicy reads, you will probably love this book. Let's just move on to the next one. He's probably just gonna pop in and out. Okay. Next, I read The Breakup Pact by Emma Lord, and I'm so sorry to say this, you guys. Oh my goodness, this was another 2-star read. I'm so sorry. This is a fake dating romance, and fake dating is my favorite trope in romance books. I just think it's so much fun. But yeah, that's the only thing that was fun about this book. Actually, nothing was really fun about this book. June is the main female character, and I just found that her character was very immature. She's been through a lot in her life as well. She lost a sister. Her sister passed away, and so she's been dealing with that. And you can really sympathize with the main character because she is struggling through that. Levi is the male main character, and he is like this hedge fund manager in New York. He's a novelist. And these two characters knew each other growing up, so there is quite a history. June and Levi were really good friends, along with her sister. I believe it was Claire. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. As a kid, Levi would always write these stories, and she loved his stories and would always encourage him to pursue what he loved. Their lives have taken them in 2 different directions. Since the passing of June's sister, Levi took off and left. June was with a man who just didn't care for her at all. He broke up with her over the internet, I believe it was, where it has been a couple months, I kind of forget, but he broke up with her in a very embarrassing way. It was like online through social media. Something similar happened with Levi, where the woman he was with left him for another man who was famous, I believe. A book like this is just fun to read. Of course, like 2 people from a small town dating 2 famous people and then breaking up with them on TikTok. You know, I mean, it's not a realistic story at all. So go in knowing that. It's just fun, right? Anyway, June is holding a lot of resentment towards the MMC, and it just really... How they interact with each other is so immature that I became so annoyed with the story, really. I had a hard time finishing it. And I thought maybe I should DNF this book. Same with the first book that I was talking about, Behind the Net. But I'm of that mentality where if I get something and I read it, I'm going to finish it. I just don't like to waste and not finish things that I start. So I did finish this book. But I didn't enjoy it at all. And I feel bad saying it, but I have to be honest with you guys. I just really did not like it. Some of you might like it. I just did not care whether they ended up together or not. Like, I did not care. Even though I could sympathize that June has experienced some very hard times in her life. Like, that would be I don't have a sister, you know, but if I were to lose a brother, I would not be okay, you know, so I get that. But everything else in this book just did not stand up to me at all. As far as spice, there's one spicy scene, so I just like skipped over that. But yeah, I don't know, not for me, but you might like it. So again, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not going to tell you not to. I really don't recommend it. Moving on, okay? It does get better. It does get better from here. I didn't rate everything that I read 2 stars, okay? The Perfect Couple, the next book I was supposed to read, didn't read it. I didn't read it. I did read others though. I just switched this with something else and I'll show you. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This series has been viral over the internet. This author is a very young author and she actually started writing these books a few years ago at the age of 19, I believe. Like, this is just amazing. I'm so happy for her. Anyway, her book has been viral, so I'm sure people all around the world have seen it. This is a fantasy book. This kind of gives the feeling of Hunger Games, but with that longing and yearning for one another. Kai is the main male character. He is a prince. Peyton is someone who lives on the streets. So we have this kingdom kind of that's this world building, right? There are 2 main groups of people, you would kind of say, in this kingdom. There are ordinaries, which are just like regular people. They don't have any superpowers. They're useless to the kingdom, basically. This kingdom has been trying to get rid of all the ordinaries. They look at them as bringing sickness and plaguing people. Peyton is living on her own. She doesn't have a mother. She lost her father in a very sad way. So she's been surviving on the streets with her best friend. One day, Prince Kai is walking on the streets through this kingdom and Peyton actually saves him from someone. I think it's so cool to have a main female character like that. Anyway, he doesn't forget who she is. So let's leave that there. This kingdom also has like these trials that they call them. And it's almost like purging trials. It's pretty sad. There's only one winner and everyone else is going to like during the trials, right? And it's supposed to be for, is it extraordinaries? Oh, you guys, I can't remember because she's an ordinary. Hold on. Oh, the elites. So with Peyton living on the streets, she pretends to have a power. She pretends to be an elite just so that she doesn't draw attention to herself and people don't try to her. Kai is obviously familiar with Peyton. Now let's leave this, okay? I believe it's once a year that this kingdom has a trials, and this is where the Hunger Game field comes in. So Peyton is chosen to participate in these trials, and she's really not an elite, but there she is. Kai is also in this competition, and so they kind of have this love-hate relationship with another. Before each trial begins, they have like this great big ball and parties and stuff, so you kind of see Kai and Peyton get a little closer, and he's kind of just trying to push her buttons a little bit. He's flirting with her, so you can kind of see where they're starting to fall for one another, but they can't show it. Just some of the things that were said in the book between him and her were really cute, especially on Kai's part. He would call her darling and things like that. He would flirt with her. So they're all placed in this trial, and I mean, it's fight till you're not alive anymore to try to make it, right? Then you see how they rely on one another when they get into the trials. They're trying to survive and protect one another in a way. The prince's father is just a terrible character. I did not like him at all. I mean, he is not a good king at all. Peyton has this vendetta against him. I don't want to give many details away, but the way that this book ends, it leaves you on a cliffhanger. I really enjoyed it. I know some people who like fantasy don't like reading YA fantasy, but it was just kind of a book to get me into the genre a bit. And I actually really enjoyed it. I read this in 2 sittings and I would highly recommend. I gave this book a solid 4 stars. It wasn't spectacular, but it was really, really good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, book 1, highly recommend. So after I was done Powerless, I could not stop yapping about it to my husband. And so he was like, you know what? Just let me buy them for you so you can read them. Sorry, I need a water break. Much better. All right, so yes, my husband got me the Powerful novella, which they say to read in between Powerless and Reckless, so that's what I did. When I had talked about Peyton, I mentioned she lived on the streets with her best friend. This little novella is about her best friend. So the main character in this novella is Adina. This book actually coincides with this. So these take place at the same time. This book is strictly about Peyton and Kai. It mentions Adina a little bit, but not too much. This novella actually tells Adina's story during the time that Peyton is going through the trials trying to survive. And you guys, Adina is such a sweet, sweet character. I just love her. I love her character so much. The loyalty that she has to her friend is just astounding to me. Where this wasn't a full novel, I give it a 3-star reading because I really enjoyed it, but it was so short. I kind of wanted more, to be honest, but it was still really good. And it was like, what, 200, just over 200 pages. If you were wanting to get into the series, I highly recommend reading the novella along with the series. It's just so much more in-depth, and I really, really enjoyed it. A novel love story. Guys, I didn't get to this one. I apologize. I've heard so many good things about it. Just time being of the essence and just getting into the powerless world, I just didn't get to it because I read Reckless. This is technically the second book in the Powerless trilogy. I mean, because it is a trilogy, you know that the main characters are still part of the trilogy, right? So I guess I just don't want to give anything away. But this is more of a cat and mouse chase between Peyton and Kai. Towards the end of the first book, obviously, again, something crazy happens and she is on the run, okay? And someone is like, I want her back here dead or alive, okay? So yeah, that's the best way I can explain it to you without giving it away. I loved this book so much. And it's funny because on YouTube and Instagram, I have seen so many mixed reviews about it and people like hating it and then people just loving it, giving it a 5-star read. It all depends on the reader, right? And our perception of a book and how we enjoy it, which is why it's such a beautiful thing that we all have different views and we all enjoy different things, right? I love this book. This book made me cry, which is crazy because it's a YA fantasy, but I was crying during the last part of the book and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to read the last book. Have I read the last book? It's called Fearless. No, I have not, but I cannot wait. Like as soon as the end of June is here, I'm getting that book and I am reading it. Like no one talked to me for a day because I'm going to sit down and read that whole thing. This one is 4.5 stars, so obviously I highly recommend it. The Color of Heaven by Julianne McLean. You guys, this was a 5-star read for me. I enjoyed this book so much. I really enjoyed Julianne's prose. She has beautiful writing. This story is about a woman and a husband and a very sick child. Okay, so if there are people out there who have gone through the loss of a child, this might be a hard book to read. I'm not going to lie. I want to be straight up front with you. You go through a lot of ups and downs. It's very emotional, but it's also very heartwarming. This is a book that can give you so much hope. I loved it. The chapters are very short, like a couple of pages per chapter. Some of them are like 1 page per chapter. Sophie is the mother. Just the stuff that she goes through in this book, it's absolutely heartbreaking and gut-wrenching. From trying to conceive a child and that child being sick, the strain that it put on the family unit between Sophie and her husband. I can't remember his name now. The heartbreak and just picking yourself up again and finding love again. It was just incredible. I cannot recommend this book enough. I don't even know what else to say about it, but I loved it. If I could recommend one book that you read out of this entire video over the 2 months of reading that I did, it would be this, you guys. I didn't realize that this was part of a series. I think there's like 12 books or more, and they're very short. Okay, so next I picked up The Assassin's Apprentice. This is a part of the Farseer trilogy. This is book number 1, and it's within like a whole world. Robin Hobb's books. I don't know how many books are in the world, but I started with book number 1. And you guys, I actually have not finished it. Okay, before you say anything, this is supposed to be a book review, a book recommendation video. I know, but I have to tell you the honest truth of what I've been reading, right? So I am actually on page 146 of this book. It's hard to get through. I'm not going to lie. It is very hard to get through, but I have heard once you finish the first book, you just get sucked into the entire series. So I've just been wanting to take my time. I downloaded this on Audible just so that I could have the experience of listening and reading at the same time. The writing style is incredible. Just the verbiage that Robin uses in this book, I just like, where do you come up with these words? Like, how do you know so many sophisticated words? Like, it just blows my mind. Yeah, it's not that I don't like the author's writing style. It's not that, it's just that the story is hard to get into. And I'm going to stick it through. I'm going to finish it. But yeah, I just need to pick it up again, really, is what I need to do. With all that being said, I don't want to give a review, obviously, because I haven't finished it, but just wanted to let you know where I'm at right now. Okay, the last book that I read in the month of March was The Women by Kristen Hanna. Oh my goodness, this book, you guys, it had me feeling happy and sad. It had me bawling my eyes out. It had me angry and frustrated. It had me feeling hopeful. You know, you have sympathy for people and empathy for what they're going through. And oh my goodness, you guys, I loved this book so incredibly much. So you're following a main character, Frankie. She is a nurse and she has a brother who is serving in the military, and she wants to make her family proud because she has a strong heritage of people in her family who have served for their country in the United States. This takes place during the Vietnam War. So Frankie goes in blind, completely green, right? Like she's never served, as I would. I would be completely green if I went to war. I would be just in shock. Some of the things I read, like, I don't know if I could do that. This main character is incredible. She is put right to work when she gets there, obviously seeing trauma, the realities of war, things that are not told or relayed to people back home. So Frankie goes through a lot of stuff when she's over here, as only you could imagine, right? She falls in love. There's heartbreak. There's loss. There's anger, what's going on and what she's seeing, little children who are so innocent, who are being harmed. And when she comes back from war, she is a completely different person. So yes, you see those parts of her life when she is serving, the things that she's dealing with when she comes back home to feel like her normal self again. And it's like, you look at what she's been through, and maybe your normal self isn't a reality. Maybe you have a new normal, and that's okay. You have new struggles, and that's okay. But she goes through a lot of self-realization. There's a lot of character growth in this book. And the ending just had me sobbing. Yeah, 5 stars. Okay, moving right along to the month of April. There were 6 books on my monthly TBR for the month of April. So let's start with that. April was not my greatest reading month. Being super busy, right? Nothing bad. With schooling and our church and community things. We had Easter. It was just crazy. So I didn't read as much as I had hoped, but that's okay. The Intern is the first book I read during the month of April, and I love this book. I gave it 4 stars. The thriller genre is actually my favorite genre. The Intern is about a young woman. She is in law school and she wants to become an intern for a judge. And this judge is someone she has looked up to. She is fascinated about like her entire life. And so she wants to jump at the opportunity. Madison's brother is actually in prison right now for a crime that she believes he didn't commit. And Judge Catherine Conroy is the one who has taken this case, like it's in her courtroom. See where this is kind of starting to build. Madison is trying to figure out what's going on with her brother. She's not lawfully allowed to, but she opens a can of worms, and this book kind of just spirals down from there. It gets crazy, you guys. It's kind of like a cat and mouse. There's a lot of things going on in the judge's life that are like really sketchy, and so you're trying to figure her out. Madison is wondering, like, what's going on? Does she have ties to like some bad people? Like, why is my brother in jail when he's, I believe he's innocent? So it's kind of like they don't trust each other. But when danger comes into Judge Catherine Conroy's life, it affects Madison as well. And so they kind of have to band together to work through some things, but it's crazy. The last part of the book, like, I didn't expect coming at all. It wasn't a 5-star for me just because I don't think about it a lot. But during the time, it was like it had my heart racing. Like, it was really good. So I highly, highly recommend this book if you have not read it yet. A Love Like the Sun. Didn't read it. Same Time Next Summer. Oh my goodness. I loved every moment of this book. If you have not read anything from Annabelle Monaghan, I highly recommend. This is the 2nd book I've read from her. Same Time Next Summer is about 2 characters, Sam and Wyatt, and they've known each other since they were kids. So this book is in a now and then timeline, which is kind of cool. I don't normally enjoy those types of books, but this was really, really good. Sam lives in New York City. She's from the coast. Anyway, Sam is engaged to Jack, this doctor in New York, and I don't really like him, to be honest, his character. I don't like his character because of his inattentiveness to Sam. It's kind of like he couldn't care less. I don't know, he's kind of like half in, half out. I don't know, it's just really strange. Anyway, Sam goes back to her hometown wanting to take her fiance to where she grew up to be with her parents for a few days. Sam and Wyatt's relationship ended when they were teenagers by something major that happened with their families. So years and years have gone by and Sam and Wyatt have not spoken. I don't know what more, I don't want to give anything away. So like, think of it, your first love, you're seeing them again for the first time in years. Imagine all of the feelings. It was so interesting to read. This story is mostly about Sam and where she is in her life, what she values in life, and how undervalued she is by other people who are supposed to love her. I love Wyatt's character. He is just such a sweet person. You also get a little peek into Wyatt's brain and what he's thinking and things he wants to make up for, like from the past, and how he deeply, truly cares for Sam and loves her so much. I could relate to some things in this book, like in my personal life, so maybe that's why it gave me a 5-star feeling. I can't wait to reread it. I have a lot of quotes underlined in here, and I'm hoping to reread this actually before summer is over because I loved it that much. 5 stars. Highly recommend. You guys really need to try this book out. Wild Dark Shore. Oh boy, I have so many thoughts on this book. Like, so excited to read this book because when I read the synopsis, I was like, oh, this sounds like a thriller. Like, this is going to be right up my alley, right? And I get into it and I was like, oh, I'm so bored. I was so bored. And the amount of like suspense you get, or I wouldn't even say suspense, like mystery, is so minuscule. Of course, more comes out towards the end. And you do have empathy for the characters, for sure. I had that. But I was really hyping this book up in my mind, thinking this is going to be a 5-star. Like, this is just going to be awesome. And it was not awesome for me. With that being said, let's just get right into it. So you are following a family who lives on a remote island off of Antarctica. So if you are someone who is into not really world building, but who loves envisioning scenery, nature, if you are someone who enjoys botany, so like the study of plants and different things like that, this book is highly descriptive of those things. So if you are into that, you will absolutely adore this book. You will love it. You will love it. If you are new to mystery, I would say this is a great book to pick up because it's so gentle. It's so gently done. This family lives on a remote island, I can't remember what it's called, of Antarctica. 2 boys and a girl. The wife has passed away. This woman named Rowan, I think, washes ashore, and they kind of nurse her back to health, get to know her, but they don't know why Rowan has come to this island. She was on a boat that wrecked, and obviously the captain has perished, and she's there trying to figure out something. They seem suspicious of her. She's suspicious of them. Later on in the story, it all comes together as to why she's there. Obviously, the little mystery part. The way the story ends, I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, yeah, I feel sympathetic towards these people. But I think it's maybe a writing style issue for me. It's just not, it's not the type of book or the type of reading style that I'm into. The majority of reviews I've seen about this book have been like 5 stars, so it's probably just a me issue. Okay, I know this video is probably getting so long, and I apologize. The last 2 books that were on my TBR, the favorites, so I got 1 page into this, and I just ran out of time. I could not finish it with the things that we had going on, but I'm still planning on reading this. This is a very highly anticipated read for me, so stay tuned for that. It will come. Last book I was supposed to read was See Me, and again, I just didn't get to it, unfortunately. All right, guys, those are all the books that I read during the months of March and April. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you, and until next time, take care. Bye.
I think about you when I should be sleeping, but you didn't know I wanna feel you closer to my skin.